Hello and welcome to Wavelength's webinar on maximizing development goals during COVID-19 with data. In this webinar, we'll be focusing on the importance of data, how you can leverage it to reach your goals, engage with your constituents more, and enhance your processes overall. We've split this online series into 3 parts. This is the second part. In section 1, we reviewed data types and how you can identify your data needs by goals and projects. In this section, we'll be talking about your data health and finding ways to improve it. And in section 3, we'll be focusing on your processes and constituent touch points. As mentioned, in the first section, we reviewed data categorization. This includes contact information, how are you reaching your constituents, personalization, how are you increasing your connection with them, and segmentation, how are you grouping shared constituent criteria. In this section, we want you to focus really on your data health. So to start, what you want to ask yourself is, what are you tracking today, and how are you tracking it and recording it? You also want to think through who is keeping it up to date, how are you tracking your data, what systems are you using, what frequency is this information being updated, how are you using this data to impact strategy in your campaigns, and lastly, how accurate is your data? These are all necessary and important questions to really identify what your baseline and what your data health is, because data isn't perfect. Data decays by about 25% each year. Users are changing jobs, locations, what have you, and you as their alma mater are likely not the first point of contact that they are going to update their information with. So what you need to think through is what is the health of your data in both what is accurate versus what's also missing, because what data is missing reduces your outreach to your larger constituent base. So how do you know where there are gaps? To start, you really want to evaluate your data health. This is a quick visual that Wavelength offers in identifying what information you have as correct and missing, as well as likely outdated. In the previous section, we reviewed the concept of the value of a data point, and I'm going to quickly review it right now. The value of a data point is all about how much value data can provide you. From a contact information standpoint, it can be very valuable because in this scenario, let's assume that you've sent 10 people a solicitation for donations via email, and 2 people donated with $25 each, meaning $50 total were donated over 10 emails, meaning one email is valued at about $5. So as you think through your data health and as you look at the number of emails you have or the number of phone numbers you have on file, you should probably review what is the value of a data point and also understand what is the lost value of missing data. The more data you are missing, the less accurate your communication can be with your constituents, and you lose the ability for that engagement. So to start, all you need to look at is understanding what percentage of your constituents do you have valid emails with. And then you can go into other contact points as well, but I encourage the first exercise to be about your emails. After you have identified your data health, you then want to jump into how are you fixing these gaps? And you can do it in 2 ways. One is the passive constituent. This is where the constituent is not involved in the process at all, and instead you are leveraging the services of online public sources like National Change of Address to keep your data up to date. Alternatively, you can also use companies and data enrichment services. Wavelength actually finds up to 60% of your missing alumni. So this helps you keep your data up to date, really punches up that data for you so you're able to communicate and engage with your constituents without them even providing you new information. The alternative is also working with an active constituent. So that means a constituent is providing you their information. In this scenario, you really want to use the current constituent touchpoints you have with them to obtain updated information. So think of all of your touchpoints you have with a constituent, whether that's reunions, soliciting donations, attending events, and seeing what type of data are you receiving from them, and is there anything that you can be in the future. When you have the time, and I know that we're reaching fiscal year end, so what you want to really focus on is probably your year end processes and goals right now. But when you have the time, what you want to do is assess the value of various initiatives to obtain new data points and increase your data health. How much are you willing to spend, both in money and time, to get the output and that data health that you want moving forward, so you can better engage with your constituents across the three different types of categories, one being that contact information, the other being personalization, and the last being segmentation. In the next section, we're going to be looking at improving your processes, all about how you can leverage the touch points you have with your constituents already by using data you have on hand, as well as tracking more data to really punch up, as I've mentioned in the past, that engagement by using your data more effectively. Thank you.